class. Welcome to English 2. My name is Karen Rose, and I am looking forward to being your professor this semester. English 2 is Introduction to Literature, so we are going to be reading from all four of the primary genres of literature: short story, poetry, drama, and the novel. So I was assigned this class kind of at the last minute, I'll be honest. This compressed 8-week English 2 class was added. Nobody was teaching it. I was asked to teach it. I was happy to say yes. But I have to say too, this is my very first time teaching English 2 in a compressed format. So I've been teaching English 2 for 20 years. Yes, I'm that old, right? But I've never taught it, one, online, and two, in 8 weeks. So this is a new experience for me. I'm looking forward to it, although I have to say it is kind of tough to squeeze a 16-week semester into 8 weeks, so we're going to do our best. I do also want to say that if you are an English major or you're thinking about being an English major, you might reconsider taking this class in the compressed format, right? And also online, right? I've been teaching English 2 on campus, right, for, like I said, 20 years, actually 21 years, right? 21 years. And there's nothing quite like the experience of being in a room with classmates, right, who've read the literature and we're all engaged in a conversation. So I'm going to do my best, right, to recreate that experience online. I will be recording a video, a lecture video for each of the works of literature that we read. So I will be giving you, some of my feedback on the literature. And we will also have an online discussion forum, right, where you will be able to, right, express your thoughts on the literature. So we will have that, but it's just not the same as being on campus. So just throwing that out there, right? But if you're really like dedicated to getting through this class this semester and you don't mind, that it's compressed into 8 weeks, well, then here you go, right? We're going to have a great semester. Okay. So this video, I am going to go over the syllabus with you. And then I'm also going to pull up the Canvas page and show you how to navigate the Canvas. And more specifically, really show you how to find the reading assignments, right? Because as you already probably know, there is no textbook for this class. So all of the reading materials, with the exception of one novel, are all available to you online. So you'll be able to get them all for free. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly so I can pull up the Canvas, right? So here is the the Canvas page, and I'm guessing you probably already, looked at the Canvas page. I just published it on a Monday morning. So when you go onto the Canvas page, you should be able to see, right, our home page. When I start posting announcements, they will be at the top of the page. Our homepage really just gives the information about the class. But what's important here is that my office hours. So I do have office hours on campus, right? I am teaching on campus this semester, and I have office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So kind of throughout the day on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm basically on campus the whole day. And my office is in the P building. It's P131. Okay, I am also available to meet with you via Zoom, right? I'm happy, to set up an appointment with you anytime, really any day of the week, I'm available. So if you'd like to schedule a time, please just reach out to me and I'll be happy to talk with you. And then also, of course, here we have the link to the syllabus, which I'm just going to go ahead and start with the syllabus. So I have the syllabus on the screen right now. And I did email this to you. I think it was last week or earlier in the week. So you probably already have it. Maybe you actually already read it. Yay, right? But if not, I'm just going to kind of skim through it kind of quickly. And I'm going to come back to these 2 quotes at the end, right? So we'll come back to that. But you can see, right, this is English 2, section 33855. Make sure you're enrolled in the right section. Again, we're only meeting for 8 weeks, right? So April 8th through June 1st, asynchronous class. So you do it on your time, I do it on my time, right? There is no set time that you ever have to be logged into the Canvas. Some information here for me, right? If you can email me via Canvas, right? Or if you choose, you can also just email me directly to my LBCC email address, right? krose@lbcc.edu. Yes, my name is Karen, right? I'm a middle-aged white lady named Karen. So I'm not a Karen, but my name is Karen. What can I say? My parents named me that many, many years ago. And I've been working at Long Beach City College since 2002. So like I said, dang, I'm old, right? But I love Long Beach City College and I've enjoyed working at the college. I love it. I love being an English professor. I'm actually a UCLA Bruin as well. I went to UCLA for all my degrees, right? Bachelor's, master's, and PhD. Go Bruins, woo woo, right? So my office hours, right? I just shared that with you. P131. You do not have to make an appointment for office hours. You just show up, right? You just come to my office. I'll be sitting there with my door open, right? Come on in. You can like come with any questions, concerns, anything. Come on by Tuesdays and Thursdays. I also have listed if you have any technical problems, right? You can call the help desk. So again, English 2 is the beginning class that a lot of people who are thinking about being English majors, this is kind of like your first class where we go over, again, literary terms, and then also we focus on the conventions of the different literary genres. So we're going to start with short stories and poems, and then we will move on to reading one play and then one novel. And so I really hope that this class captures your imagination and inspires you to read more. That is my goal. So the prerequisite for this class, as long as you've completed English 1, right, or its equivalent, you're good to go. Again, like I said, there's no textbook required for the class. All of the readings will be provided either via a link to a website or a PDF file. So you can just access those, except for the novel, right? So we are reading one novel. It's by an author named Nella Larson. It's called Passing. And if you don't want to buy the book, right, you can always like check it out at the library, right? And if you do choose to purchase it, I have a link available online. It sells on Amazon for like $10, so not too bad. So the grading for this class, right, there will be 2 essays, and those are each worth 100 points. There will be one exam at the end of the semester, and that'll be worth 100 points. And then I do give reading quizzes. Those are multiple choice quizzes that are based on the readings. And those range from 8 points all the way up to 15 points, and I will drop the lowest score. And then, of course, we also have our discussion boards, right? This is an online class, so that's how we're going to discuss the literature. And those are worth 10 points each. So I set the class up where we have 2 discussion boards every week. Okay, grading scale, you can see I use the classic grading scale, right? And at the end of the semester, I always have students ask, do you round up for the grades? Yes, I do, right? If you are 0.5 away, I will round up, right? So if you're at 89.5, right, I will round up to an A. So for the discussion boards, like I said, there will be 2 of those each week. So I post the questions are already posted really for weeks 1 through 6, I believe. I've already got it up there. And you need to write a response to the question, right? Sometimes I give you a choice of a question. You get to choose which question you're going to answer. And then your response should be a minimum of 250 words. Okay, and I'll be honest, I'm not going to count the words, right? But 250 words is like if you typed it up on a page, if you double space it, it's basically like 1 page. If you single space it, it's like a half a page. But you'll just, type your response into the discussion board. There's a little box where you put your response. You might type it up in a Word doc, copy, paste it. However you do it is fine. And those questions your response will always be due on Friday at midnight, or actually 11:59 p.m., right? On Friday, you post your response. And then I'm requiring you to provide feedback to at least one student, one classmate, right? And that would be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So the two due dates are always going to be Friday. That's when your response is due, your post, and then your response is due on Sunday. Okay. And Canvas will automatically deduct 10% for each day that your post is late. And Canvas does prorate that. So like say you don't post it Friday at 11:59 p.m. Say you post it, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. You're not going to lose as many points as if you posted it, let's say Saturday night at 11 p.m. So just keep that in mind. And you can see how I grade the post, like how I give the points. So the quality of your post is worth 7 points. The length of your post, right? If you meet the 250, you get the 2 points. And then your reply to a classmate is worth 1 point. Okay. So each of those, like I said, is worth 10 points. And I feel like the discussion boards are fun, right? It's a nice way for us to get to know each other. Like I said, to share our thoughts about the literature. And it's also, I'll be honest, an easy way to get points, right? I mean, if you do every discussion board and get the full 10 points, that's going to help your grade. So I definitely encourage you to really put some time and effort into these discussion board posts. Right. So I do not want, when you're giving your feedback to a classmate, don't just write good job or nice work, right? Actually give some feedback, comment on what the person wrote, right? Maybe add some additional insights, agree, disagree. This is a literature class, right? It's fun. We're going to be talking about some really thought-provoking literature. So really try to get engaged in the conversation. Okay. Essay format, right? There are, like I said, 2 essays. This is an English class. We use MLA, right? Modern Language Association format, which is actually pretty easy. Basically, that just means that you're going to double space your paper, have 1-inch margins, right? Use a font, right? That is equivalent to approximately 300 words per page, right? New York is a good one. Times New Roman is a good one. And then if you do use any outside sources, then you will have to use an MLA formatted works cited page. Okay. Now this is an English 3, right? Or English 1, where you're expected to do research, right? And have outside sources in your essays. For English 2, you do not, right? You do not have to do any outside research. Right? I'm really more interested in what you have to say about the literature. So you might not even have to have a works cited page for your essay, right? And we'll get more into the essays as we go. Just giving you a heads up about that. Okay, while we're talking about essays, let's get to the next topic I have here on the syllabus, which is academic honesty, plagiarism, and the use of AI. Okay, they all kind of go together here. I'm sure you're all very aware of AI and how easy, right, AI can make it for you to write an essay or even write a discussion board, right? I've used ChatGPT. I know how it works. All you have to do is type the question in and then it'll generate a very, sometimes very well-written response, okay? Now, why wouldn't you just use AI, right? That's what it's for, right? Artificial intelligence, right? Well, you won't use it for one thing because I'll get mad, right? But no, you're not going to use it because, one, the whole point of you being here in this class is to learn, right? To expand your horizons, to read the literature, to articulate your response to the literature. You don't want to have a computer do your work for you, right? You want to do your work. Okay, so please, this is an opportunity for you to read awesome literature and think about it. And, share your thoughts with other people who are also reading the literature. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't waste it by using AI, okay? Also, I'm no dummy, okay? I've been grading, like I said, I've been teaching here for 21 years. I've graded so many discussion boards and essays and, responses to readings. I know what AI writing looks like. Okay, it's very repetitive. They tend to string together dependent clauses. It's just easy to identify. So please, please, please do not use AI. Okay, moving on. The Writing and Reading Success Center, right? That is an awesome resource that I encourage you to take advantage of, right? If you ever need any extra assistance and you don't want to ask me, maybe you can go to the Writing and Reading Center. It is free to you. You're already paying for it when you pay your registration fees. So I do, recommend you check it out. They have a brand new location in the M building, beautiful facility. And they also offer online tutoring. So say you can't come to campus, you can always set up an appointment online. And I do have a link to that on our Canvas page. And I do also put their hours. I have to say their hours are kind of restricted. I was kind of surprised that they close so early. They close at 4 o'clock on Monday through Thursday, 2 o'clock on Friday, right? So that's, not that convenient. So, keep that in mind. Their online hours, they're open till 8, so that's better. But just keep that in mind. The rest of the syllabus is an overview of my plan for our 8 weeks, right? So this is our schedule. And I organize everything by week. So you can see, right, I have a table right on the left, right? The left-hand column is just sort of like what week, right? And then what you're going to be reading for that week, and then what you're going to be doing for that week. And so, right, you can see, like I said, we're starting with short stories and poetry. And so we're going to be starting by reading typically like 2 short stories and 2 poems per week, right? And then the assignments that are due, it's going to be pretty much the same thing every week. You're going to be doing the reading quizzes, and then you're going to be doing the discussion board posts. And I'll show you those when I click over to Canvas. Okay, so you can see, right, the readings, right? Like I said, short stories and poems for the first 5 weeks. And then the first essay will be due. So right after we finish the section on short stories and poetry, your first essay will be due. That will be due on May 12th. Okay, that is a Sunday. And then after that, right, we will read the longer work. So we'll be reading Arthur Miller's play, Death of a Salesman, right? So I'm excited for that. And then the last 2 weeks, excuse me, of our class will be focusing on the novel Passing by Nella Larsen. And I chose that novel. It's kind of new to me. I was using The Handmaid's Tale for a couple semesters, but I changed last semester in the fall because my students said Handmaid's Tale is very long and it's a very complicated book, right? Because it's postmodern. So Margaret Atwood, she shifts back and forth from the past to the present. It can be a little bit confusing. And I love the novel Passing. I first read it when I was in grad school and I love it so much. And I just thought, you know what? I think I'm going to use Passing. And I used it last semester and my students really liked it a lot. So it is a shorter novel and it's not as complicated. So we're going to focus on that for our last 2 semesters. And like I said, that is the only book that you actually have to buy. It is the only book that I was not able to find for free online, right? So anyway, if any of you can find it for free online, please let me know, right? I'll be happy to share that with the class, but I haven't been able to find it. There is also a film, right? There's a film version of Death of a Salesman, and there is a film version of Passing, right? So I am teaching this class on campus this semester. I will be showing both of the films in my on-campus classes. If any of you would like to come, I'm totally happy to have you do that, or you might, try to watch it on your own, right? So Death of a Salesman, I have the DVD. I don't know, it might be available on Netflix. And then the novel Passing is actually on HBO. So, but definitely read the book first, right? Read the book and then watch the movie, because I'll tell you, they change a few things, right? Okay, so that is our syllabus, right? Oh, and I should also say, right, the final will be at the very end of the semester, last day for our semester, which would be on Sunday, June 2nd. So that is when the final will be, and that is when the second essay will be. Okay, and we'll talk more about those as we go. Okay, so that's the syllabus. And again, I was going to say, if you have any questions, but you're online, it doesn't work that way here. So if you do have any questions, though, please, post them on the discussion board. So I'm going to pull up the Canvas right now. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up the Canvas page, and we will take a look. Right, go back to the Canvas page. Right. So we looked at the syllabus, right? So here's the homepage. Announcements, as I post announcements, they will appear. I post an announcement every Monday morning. So on Monday morning, I'll post an announcement. You will also get that as an email. And in that announcement, I will just basically give you an overview of our plan for the week. So I'll basically just remind you of what you need to read, right? What quizzes you need to take and what discussion boards you need to complete. Okay. And then I'll also send another announcement on Friday just to remind you of the due dates, right? Because I know the week flies by. It's like Monday, and then all of a sudden you blink your eye and it's Friday. So I'll just remind you of that due date. Okay, so that's what you'll see for the announcements. Now, I spend most of my time when I'm on Canvas in modules, because that's really how I have this class organized. And I should actually go to student view because I have some stuff that I haven't published yet, right? So so you can see the syllabus, right? Meet the members of the class. This is the one extra discussion board. It's worth 5 points though, right? Where you're going to write an introduction, right? You're going to introduce yourself to the class. And I would like you to please to share a photo if you can, or some kind of a picture that helps me get to know you. And I just put some questions here. I think this is a nice starting point. I already posted my introduction, right? And I tried to kind of like answer all those questions. So that's that discussion board. And again, like I said, that's worth 5 points. Okay. Now this is the discussion board where you can post any questions. So if you have any questions or any ideas or just any thoughts that you would like to share with the entire class, you can go ahead and post them here, right? This is kind of nice. You're also, of course, you can send me any questions via email as well. But I feel like this is a nice discussion board just for you to, share questions or even ideas that you might have about the class. Okay, going back to modules. Okay, then I have English 2 resources. These are things that I'll probably make videos going over them, but this is where I'm sharing resources that will be helpful to you. So this is a handout with literary terms, right? And then I have some PowerPoints, right? Literary terms for plot, point of view, character, and poetry. And these are things that, again, we'll go over. I also have a link to the Purdue Online Writing Lab if you have any questions about MLA formatting or style for your papers. And then the rest of the Canvas, the modules, I have set up by week. So when you look at week 1, for example, you can see, right, short stories and poems. Okay, so then I have the links to the readings. So the Arthur Conan Doyle story, A Scandal in Bohemia, right? Each of the stories, you can find the link right here. And then the videos that I've created for you, and then the reading quizzes, and then the discussion boards. And like I said, there will be 2 discussion boards per week. They're each worth 10 points. So just when we look at this, okay, so we see links to readings. Now I want to show you, because it's a little confusing. So if you click on Arthur Conan Doyle, right, you're going to read that. Okay, so this one, you can see the page shows up, right? Now, sometimes when you click on the reading, it might be blank and you'll be like, what? Where's the reading? See right here? If you hover your cursor over where it says link to, that is actually a hot link, right? You could also click on that link and it will actually take you right to the source. Right, so just showing you that if you ever click on the link and nothing comes up, right? Now, this Arthur Conan Doyle, in my video, I explain it's divided into chapters, right? Chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. And that's because this story was published in a magazine where it was serialized. So basically, they published chapter 1, and say March. And then you had to wait till April to get chapter 2. And then you had to wait till May to get chapter 3. Okay, but for our convenience, right, the whole thing is published here. And this is actually the longest of the short stories that we'll read for the semester, just so you know. And you don't have to print the reading, you can read it however you want, right? As long as you have read it so that you can answer the discussion board question and also take the reading quiz. Okay, so the link to Sherman Alexie, we'll click on that one, and you can see that this came from the New Yorker. You can actually read it in the New Yorker if you want, right? I've also scanned it illegally, right? Don't report me, right? But I've scanned it just in case, because sometimes magazines like the New Yorker, they have a paywall, right? If you click more than 3 times on the website, you have to then pay, right? And I don't want you guys to have to pay. So I've actually, for some of these readings, I've scanned them, which again, I know is against the copyright. So educational purposes, right? But so the PDF is posted there as well. And for some of these, I actually also have audio recordings. So I'll tell you, my daughter, right? My daughter, who's actually in the music department at Long Beach City College as an adjunct professor, she also does like audio, like she has a beautiful voice. She's a singer, right? And she sometimes does audio books. And so I asked her, please, can you do some for my class? Because I know that sometimes students, right, benefit from listening, right? So you can also listen here to an audio recording. Okay. So again, if you just want to quickly get the reading, you can just click on where it says PDF, and the PDF should load. It might take a minute. My internet connection's not that great right now. But it will load, I swear, right? You just have to be patient. If you ever have any troubles like accessing the readings, if the link doesn't work or anything, please immediately send me an email so that I can either fix it if there's a problem on the Canvas, or I can send it to you. I can directly send you the PDF file. Let me just click on one more of these so I can show you. I think, okay, so this is an example of one where you see it says, you're trying to launch insecure content. Okay, right, so Canvas is blocking it, but all you have to do is put your cursor right here, right, where it turns into a link, click on it, and then it will take you right to the website, right? So you can see there's the poem. Okay, so that is how the readings, right? So within each module, links to readings, those are the 2 short stories and the 2 poems. Okay, now these instructor videos, I'm just going to click on one, right? Scandal in Bohemia. So this is my video, right, that I've made for you, right, where in these videos, and I tried to keep the videos at 15 minutes. I told myself, Karen, 15 minutes. Students do not want to watch anything longer than that. So that's my goal. I think I went a little bit over on the first one, but the others, I've only done 4 of them so far. Again, this is my first time teaching this class online like this. So during COVID, when I taught this class, I had Zooms. I had like it was a synchronous online class. So I was meeting with my students via Zoom. This is asynchronous. So I've already made a few of the videos, right? So in these videos, what I do is I give a little bit of an overview about the author, right, to give us some context. And then I share some of my thoughts about the literature. So I might talk about point of view, character, setting, the themes, right? So I do recommend, checking out these videos. Like I said, I try to keep it brief, but yet meaningful, right? So then you'll see the videos, right? And then the reading quizzes. And so I'm just going to click on one right now. We'll give a little preview here. So you can see that for the reading quizzes, like I said, they're multiple choice. They're usually 10 questions. And I usually give 1 minute per question, which I feel like is plenty of time, right? If you are a DSPS student, right, you will get time and a half. Once I get all those accommodation letters, I will go in and adjust all the quizzes for you. No problem. And so the quizzes, right, sometimes the quiz will cover 2 works. So you can see this one, it says Doyle/Randall. That means that this quiz covers both the Arthur Conan Doyle story and the Dudley Randall poem. So they're both together. So there are probably 5 questions on one, 5 on the other. Okay, and so I'm just going to show you a little preview here. If any of you are watching this video, right, you're going to get a little insight about this quiz, right? When you click on the quiz, right, you can see the questions are set up. They're multiple choice questions. So here's like a typical question. Why does the King of Bohemia come to see Sherlock Holmes? Right, so this is a basic plot question. If you read the story, you should have no problem, right, answering the question, right? So you can see there's multiple choice, right? The king wants to hire Sherlock Holmes to recover a photograph. The king wants to hire Sherlock Holmes to find his son who ran away 4 years ago. The king wants to give Sherlock Holmes a medal for bravery, or the king wants to meet Sherlock Holmes's sister. Okay, well, I'm not going to give the answer, but if you read the story, you should know. Oh, I know exactly what it is. So this is what the quizzes are like. Again, just multiple choice questions. Pretty easy if you did the reading. Okay, yes. Okay, so the reading quizzes and then the discussions. So like I said, 2 discussion boards per week, right? So I'm just going to click on this first one, right? So you can see this one asks a question, right? Arthur Conan Doyle's The Scandal in Bohemia and Dudley Randall's Ballad of Birmingham have plots that hinge on something unexpected happening at the end, right? Write a response to the story and poem that addresses the following question. Okay, so what motivates the characters? Were you surprised by the endings? Why or why not? So you can see these questions are opinion, right? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm going to be assessing your response based on if I can tell that you did the reading, right? That you actually gave the reading some thought and that you tried to answer the question. Right? So that's what I'm looking for. Right. So again, your response is always going to be due on Friday before 11:59 p.m. And then your like feedback to a classmate is due by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. Okay, so 2 of these a week. So again, this is an 8-week class. So we are moving, faster than we would be if we were in a 16-week class where it's compressed. So you really have to like motivate yourself to do the reading. And the reading's fun. So I think you're going to like it. I hope anyway. Okay, so that's kind of what you can find on our Canvas. Each week, right, has links to the readings, links to the reading quizzes, and then the discussions, and then also the videos. Okay, so that's what you can find in the modules. People, this is where you can see all of your classmates' names, right? And I believe, I'm pretty sure you can also like send emails to your classmates. I think that's how it works. Your grades, right? I will do my very best to keep your grades updated, right? So you will always be able to see what your grade is in the class. You can click on assignments. This is just another way to sort of like link or see, I guess I should say, you can show by type or show by date. So here you can see all the discussions and all the reading quizzes for the semester. The only reading quizzes I haven't posted yet are the ones for the novel. I just haven't typed those into Canvas yet. You can also click on quizzes just to see all the quizzes listed, discussions to see all the discussions listed. And then of course, this is the WRSC, that stands for Writing and Reading Success Center. And so that is where you could actually like make an appointment, right? To go to the Writing and Reading Success Center, right? You can get your writing tutoring, right? DLAs, that's for English 1. You don't need to worry about that stuff. And then, yeah, these are just some other resources for you. We go back to modules. So I feel like that's a pretty good overview for Canvas. I feel like now we've been using, I'm assuming that most of you have probably, been using Canvas, right? During COVID, we all kind of had to start using Canvas, but I feel like a lot of people maybe were already using it before that, and now we're just more used to it. If for some reason, maybe this is your first time using Canvas, maybe this is your first time taking an online class, I'm so happy to sit down with you one-on-one and go over, this in more detail if you need that. Like I said, I'm very happy to do that. I can set up a Zoom with you, or right, I can, you can come by my office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I guess that's pretty much it for this basic overview. I'm really excited to have you in my class. I'm excited to talk about literature with you. English 2 is such a fun class. It's really very rewarding to experience literature with a group of people, right, who are passionate about reading. So I look forward to getting to know you. So again, your first due date is going to be this Friday, right? So you need to read those 2 short stories and the 2 poems, take the reading quizzes, and post your response to the discussion board. So for this week, there is 1 extra discussion board, right? Like I showed you, that is the introduction discussion board where you're introducing yourself to the class. So that's it for us, right? I look forward to seeing you online, and let's have a great semester.